Hello everyone and welcome to Where is Xur, IGN's weekly show where we find Xur and we look at his inventory together. Today you can find Xur on Nessus. He's over here in the north part in Watcher's Grave, hanging out on a tree branch as per usual, so let's pay him a visit. Once you've landed on Nessus, go ahead and summon your sparrow and go straight ahead, and you will find Xur on that tree branch that you can see straight ahead. Alright, here is Xur himself. Let's see what he's got in store. Alright, so first up at his exotic gear, we've got the two-tailed fox. This is a pretty awesome rocket launcher. It shoots 2 rockets per blast, and they both track, and they both have different elemental effects. One's void, one's solar. So pretty useful. I used this in PvP the season it came out and had hilarious encounters with lots of people. So that's a pretty good weapon if you don't have it. Then we've got the Dragon Shadow. Good exotic, bad roll. Same with Ursa Furiosa. This is actually a very good exotic, but a very, very bad roll. So probably should not consider that unless you really need it. And then finally, Eye of Another World. The worst roll yet. So yeah, this week his exotic armor is pretty disappointing. I don't really know what else to say. It's all very low stat. Nothing really spiky across the board, and yeah, this Warlock roll is really, truly terrible. So moving on to legendary weapons. So we've got Whispering Slab. This is a pretty good bow. I don't really like this roll. Same can be said of Imperial Needle. Decent bow overall, but this roll is kind of meh. And Brass Attacks. Also a sidearm I quite enjoy, but this roll is kind of underwhelming. All three of these weapons I would just put like, you know, mid-tier. Nothing special, nothing to really get excited about. Deafening Whisper, on the other hand, this is certainly my pick this week. Not that there are many great options, but if I had to pick one, I would pick this one. Deafening Whisper is a great rocket launcher, or sorry, grenade launcher. Rampage is great. Killing Wind is great. You know, some of these other perks I would certainly consider, and Blast Radius is also a pretty good masterwork for this weapon. So if I had to pick one, I would pick this one. I would put it in the high to mid tier. But it, you know, really legendary weapons this week are pretty much across the board pretty meh. Same could be said about Punching Out. This sidearm here, it's got some perks I like, some I think are probably a waste. Shattered Cipher, same kind of situation. And the Third Axiom, which we got a roll for, I believe, last week or the week before. That was essentially the same thing, but with much better perks. And so again, really across the board, with maybe the exception of Deafening Whisper's roll. There's just a lot of mid weapons this week. It's sort of a very disappointing week for Xur. And speaking of disappointments, the armor this week is probably the worst batch we've seen in a while. There's really nothing spiky on any of the characters. I'm going to be covering Hunters because I think Hunters got the best 2 rolls this week, but even they really aren't much to talk about. So first is these grips. They've got 63 overall stats, which is really probably the lowest I would even consider buying. Low mobility and decent stats otherwise, which maybe doesn't work for your hunter, but maybe does. And then the helmet over here, which has spiky intellect, decent mobility, decent resilience, and then is really low in other areas. But, you know, when all things are said and done, a lot of the armor this week was really not great. We didn't see any 65s, any 66s, not even any 64s in the overall stat kind of umbrella. And there's just really not a lot to get excited about. And I could kind of say that across the board for Xur this week, unfortunately. So, sorry, Xur, you did us dirty this week. Better luck next time. And that's it for Where is Xur. Hopefully these videos are useful to some of you. I'm Ty Guy Travis, and we will be back next week for more Xur shenanigans. And for everything else related to Destiny, stick with IGN.
There is a door in the woods. It is opening.